Hi, Sean here from Hajir Strength and Conditioning, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can squat with a barbell without a rack. COVID-19 is upon us, and many governments around the world are imposing shutdowns in an effort to curb the spread of the virus. This means it is very likely that your gym is being affected and now you don't have a place to train. But training still has to go on, and you still have to squat. Because what else are you going to do? Not train? If you manage to procure a barbell and some weight plates so that you can continue training at home during this lockdown period, excellent. While a bar and some weight plates are feasible for most people to have in their homes because they can be stowed away with relative ease after they're done with training, having a squat rack at home is a luxury that not many people can enjoy due to space constraints. Especially in Singapore, whereby the average apartment size is pretty small. So, you've got a bar, you've got some weight plates, you want to squat, but you don't have a rack. What can you do? Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways that you can squat at home with a bar without a rack. Before we start, I just want to quickly mention that this video is not about the technical execution of each lift, but rather a discussion of ideas about how you can work with what you have in this situation. The first way was actually something that I used to do when I was still making house calls. I would coach clients in their homes, condo gyms, or parks, and none of these places had squat racks. But I still wanted them to do their back squats, so I needed to find a way around that, and this is what I came up with. The first way to squat with a bar without a rack would be with assistance from a partner. How this works is that your partner will essentially be your squat rack. You'll take the bar up to your shoulders and assume the press position. From then, you'll gently place the bar onto your back, and when you're ready, you'll take over and carry on with your set. Once you're done, you'll take the bar off of your back and set it back down to the floor. Now, the amount of weight that you're going to be able to squat will be limited by the amount of weight your partner can get the bar into the front rack position, and that's okay. There are ways to make the squat more challenging apart from adding load, and I'll discuss more about that later into the video. The next way may appear simple, but might be very tricky for some people, especially older adults. Now, if you're into Olympic weightlifting, this will be very familiar to you. You clean the bar up, hold it in the front rack position while you perform front squats. Just remember to set it back down to the floor quietly so that you don't piss your neighbors off. Next, we have something from old school strongman at Zercher, the Zercher squat. The Zercher squat is done with the barbell held in the crook of the elbow and can start either off the floor or off an elevation. Personally, I prefer starting off an elevation as it's a more efficient way to get into the starting position to start squatting. If I wanted to train to get stronger at picking stuff up off the floor, I would do the Zercher deadlift instead. To start, place the plates of a loaded barbell on a couple of chairs. Next, set the bar in the crook of your elbow, flex your elbow hard, set your back, and take the bar off the stool. Take a step back to clear the stool, get into your squat stance, and perform your squat. Once you're done, step back forward, set the bar back down into the stools. One cool thing about the Zercher squat is they are able to easily move between stressing your knee extensors more or your hip extensors more. You can either keep the bar real close to you to produce a more vertical back angle, which will then place more emphasis on your knee extensors, or let the bar hang away from you, which will produce a more horizontal back angle, which will then place more emphasis on your hip extensors. Next, we have something from old school weightlifter Paul Anderson, the Anderson squat. Remember the setup from the Zercher squat earlier? Now, depending on the height of the stool or the chair they were using, it is likely that the same setup can be reused for the Anderson squat. The Anderson squat starts from a dead stop at the bottom of the squat range of motion. After you have set up the loaded bar onto the chairs, place your hands onto the bar, squat down, and do a little duck walk to get below the bar. After placing the bar onto your back, adjust your feet width, set your back before driving up from the bottom. Now that you've got this setup, you can choose to either do Anderson squats or use the setup as an awkwardly low squat rack. Take the bar up, step back to clear the chairs, perform your set of squats, step forward and put it back down again. Last on our list is from yet another old-time lifter, Milo Steinborn, the Steinborn squat. A little disclaimer here, the Steinborn squat is an extremely tricky lift to perform and may not be suitable for everyone. The reason why I've included this lift in a part of this list is that there are some of you watching that are able to do it and might want to try it out. Due to my lack of experience with this lift, I'm unable to show you or walk you through how it's performed. However, if you're keen to see how a Steinborn squat is performed and want to see an immensely strong person lift a bonkers amount of weights, go to YouTube and key in Steinborn squat, Martin's Lisses. So now you know 5 ways to squat at home with a barbell without a rack. If your plates were bought or loaned from your gym to tide you over this lockdown period, chances are you're not going to have a whole bunch of plates. In this case, progression in the form of any load to the bar will be limited. In this situation, we'll be using an increase in volume or an increase in time under tension or a combination of both to drive progress. There are a variety of ways to increase volume. The most straightforward way will simply be to add more repetitions per set or to add more sets. Alternatively, if you would like to increase volume and at the same time get a bit of conditioning gains, you can give density sets a shot. In a density set, you give yourself a time frame, for example, 10 minutes. In this 10 minutes, you will bang out as many reps as you can. Progress in a density set can come in 2 forms. Number 1, more repetitions in the same amount of time, or the same amount of repetitions in less time. Next, you can drive progress by increasing time under tension, and this can be done in 2 ways. First is to slow down the duration it takes to perform each individual repetition by doing tempo squats. You can choose to slow down the descent portion or ascent portion of the squat, or both. Alternatively, increasing time under the bar can be done by holding certain position of the squat by doing pause squats. Progression in a pause squat can come in the form of holding the position for longer or by adding more positions to pause. I hope this video has given you a few ideas on how you can squat at home with your bar without a rack and still make progress. If you found any of the tips mentioned earlier useful and are planning to incorporate that into your workout, do feel free to post them and tag us at High Strength. We would love to see your squats. In the meantime, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you soon.